How do you choose the right qualitative approach for your study? There are three things that you have to think about when you are choosing qualitative approach. So the first one is the purpose of your study. So what is the purpose of your study? The purpose is what exactly you want to find out in the study. Do you want to describe a specific phenomenon? Do you want to explore an issue? Do you want to explain a concept or a phenomenon? Do you want to examine an event or a situation or a behavior? Based on the purpose of the study, you'll be able to determine the right qualitative approach for your study. The next one is to think about the source of your data. Are you collecting data from people, organization, community, physical or virtual locations? Where you are collecting data from will give you an idea about the method that you have to use to help you to collect rich data to address the research question that you have. Another thing that you have to think about is the kind of data you want to collect. Do you want to collect interview data, focus group data? Do you want to do an observation to collect data? Do you want to collect documents? Or do you want to extract audio, video, or text? The kind of data you decide on will help you to choose the appropriate qualitative approach for your study. What exactly you want to find out at the end of the study, what do you want to achieve? That's the first thing that you have to think about. Where are you going to collect the data from? And what kind of data do you want to collect? So these three things will help you to choose the appropriate qualitative approach for your study. After you have thought about these three areas, right, the next thing is to review existing qualitative approaches and see which one will best match what exactly you want to find out, and also the kind of data that you need for you to address the research question that you have. I always recommend that you start with the traditional qualitative method. If none of them best match what you want to study, then you can also look into the non-traditional qualitative method. There are 5 main traditional qualitative methods. If you are planning to study a specific issue or a case by understanding, explaining, or highlighting the characteristics of the case, then you can use the case study approach. Ethnography is to study a group of people in their natural setting. So if you plan to spend time with a group of people, learn about their culture, learn about how they do things, and then collect information from them to help you to address your research question, yes, ethnography will be the best. We also have the grounded theory. If you want to develop a theory or a model to explain a phenomenon or a behavior or a situation, then grounded theory will be the best. Narrative is you want to tell stories, giving participants a chance for them to tell their stories, and then you gather all these stories and then retell them in a holistic manner that reflect all the stories that you have collected. If you want to capture participant experience, then phenomenology will be the best, right? So if you review all these approaches and you still realize that no, none of them fit your study, then you may have to consider non-traditional qualitative methods. I just have a few of them here, but there are a lot of non-traditional qualitative methods that you could review and see which one best fits your study. When you identify a specific tool, learn everything about it. If you learn more about it too, you'll be able to use it in an effective way. You learn more about it by reading articles and textbooks that talks about this approach. You can also look into best practices, look at studies that have used the approach that you want to use, and learn more about how they implement it in an effective way. The next step is to develop a justification. How do you do that? You just have to think about, if you have been asked, why did you choose this approach, or why are you using this approach? What are you going to say? Having a good reason why you are using this approach also increases the credibility of your findings, right? If you can be able to explain the rationale behind your choice, people will be able to believe what you found in your study. These are the things that I have for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Are you thinking about choosing the right approach? How did you come up with the appropriate research approach for your qualitative study? Thank you so much for your time.